Hi, I'm Chris Gleason with Precision Canine Shaping. Over the next few minutes, I'll be telling you a little bit about who we are and how we think we can be of service to the community. Over the last several years, Precision Canine Shaping has developed an extensive private dog training clientele, but starting in January of 23, we will be expanding our services, offering both commercial and residential narcotic searches. Additionally, we have a facility being built in Denham Springs that should be complete in the summer of 23 that will allow us to expand even further. Precision Canine Shaping was created and founded in Baton Rouge. Our clients include individuals on the private training platforms that we offer, as well as commercial and residential clients on the detection side. And we hope to move into school settings in the near future, as we think that can be where we're of most use, so to speak. Our company mission is to safeguard the community as best we can. Our vision is quite simple. We're trying to create a safer world. Our core values, pretty much all are in alignment with that. We're dedicated to promoting drug-free environments, and we try to be mission-driven in every task that we undertake. Here's the team. We have Gaston Berg, who is the owner and CEO of Precision Canine Shaping. He's a Marine with an extensive set of experiences in the canine handling world. Chris Gleason, I'll be on the business development side and working as a narcotics handler. And this is Ripley, our beautiful Belgian Malinois. On to, perhaps the most important question is why we do what we do. And that, again, is fairly simple. We're trying to save lives. We're trying to increase safety in our schools and our public facilities. We're trying to combat a societal-wide epidemic that unfortunately is affecting all of our citizens. As we mentioned, we're in the biggest overdose crisis period in the history of America. The numbers are quite disturbing. It's definitely an epidemic at this point. You see there the 2020 figures where approximately 92,000 overdose deaths. That number grew again, unfortunately, in 2021 and looks to be growing again in 2022. So it's a sobering trend, but one that we all need to work together to address. And the culprit behind this trend is for the most part, fentanyl. There are other drugs involved, but fentanyl is doing the most damage. Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid, originally created for pain treatment, specifically cancer pain. It's 50 times stronger than heroin, 100 times stronger than morphine. And the most deadly use of fentanyl is the fact that drug dealers are cutting it and splicing it into other offerings, making them catastrophically more deadly. We've all seen the news headlines. Fentanyl seems to be, running banner bad news headlines on a daily basis. And we all need to work together to convert some of these bad headlines into good ones. According to Ann Milgram of the DEA, fentanyl is the single deadliest drug threat our nation has ever encountered. You see here the number of pills confiscated by law enforcement in 2021, approximately 10 million pills, of which approximately 40% contain potentially lethal doses, which is why the problem is so astonishingly difficult to deal with. Fentanyl is very portable, it's very small. Large volumes of it can occupy a very small area, so it's easy for dealers to transport. Just 1 kilogram of fentanyl has the potential to kill 500,000 people, and it just means we all have to work together to limit exposure. As far as what you can do as a parent, there's some excellent information here. The most important takeaway here is probably the fact that innocent drugs, so to speak, prescription drugs such as Percocet, Oxycontin, Xanax, Adderall, drug dealers are splicing fentanyl into these offerings and causing the overdose epidemic to go through the roof, unfortunately. So that's probably the most important thing to note, is it's not just the traditional uses of these narcotics that is causing the problem. It's this new thing where dealers are splicing fake prescriptions and causing havoc. So the drug landscape is dramatically different than it used to be, and we need to be aware of all of these things. As far as how we got here from a historic standpoint, not important that we know all of this information or that you know all of this information, but briefly in '96, Purdue released Oxycontin. That ultimately created hundreds of thousands, really millions of Americans that were addicted to opioids. When the legislative changes occurred to make some of those prescriptions harder to get, many of those addicted people turned to heroin, which was in ready supply from cartels moving west from Mexico. And as the supply of heroin diminished somewhat due to that increased demand, the dealers started to compete for new buyers and for new customers by splicing fentanyl into their offerings, and that created the unfortunate situation that we're in today. Here are a few additional resources for you. This is an excellent video from the CDC. Some of these other links have some great information as well from Health and Human Services, the Justice Department. Please peruse these, and hopefully we can all learn a little bit more on how to combat this epidemic together. So please help us, join us in the fight to stop this epidemic. A few things about how our protocol is a little bit different than some of the other protocols that may exist out there. We are not law enforcement. Absolutely, we have a great deal of respect for law enforcement, but our methodology allows us a little bit greater flexibility in scheduling. We use a simple search and alert dynamic. There's no legal action following any of our searches. All follow-up will be determined by the client. So that makes us a little bit different than how you traditionally may have heard of some of these services, but we definitely can offer great flexibility in how we approach this problem. Another area where we can be of great service and hope to be of great service is in the area of firearm detection. Unfortunately, our country still has a horrific problem with school shootings, and we'd like to be on the front lines addressing that as well here in the near future. Canines have been used for human beings for thousands of years, and this slide is basically a special shout out to all of those dogs throughout history, and a special shout out to our dogs. And they have an incredible capacity, and it's just a joy to work with them every day. So thanks to them, in short. This is an important slide as well. As a private business, obviously we must remain solvent to serve our clients, but our ultimate goal centers around being a tool for the community for the betterment of everyone. That's what we've designed our business to do, and that's what we hope to bring to the community. So thanks, guys, for spending a few minutes with us here today. We certainly appreciate your time. We look forward to speaking with you hopefully in the near future. And please give us a call. Please join us in the fight to stop this epidemic, and we look forward to seeing you out there. Thank you so much.